A major question has emerged among K-pop fans and industry analysts. If HYBE were to move forward without Kim Taehyung, would the company still shine as brightly as it does today? This speculation is not without reason. Taehyung has long been considered one of HYBE's greatest sources of energy, both in popularity and commercial value. Since his debut with BTS, Taehyung has stood out immediately. His signature baritone voice, his unique personality, and visuals often described as unconventional by idol standards have made him exceptional. These qualities have not only elevated BTS but also placed HYBE firmly in the global spotlight. Over the years, Taehyung's name has been one of the keys to HYBE's expansion strategy. Many international brands reportedly showed greater interest in partnerships once they knew he was involved. This demonstrates that his influence is far from just fan service, it is a tangible asset. Some analysts argue that Taehyung's contribution to HYBE's global image is highly significant. Without him, the company might remain large, but the aura would not be the same. His popularity injects an emotional dimension that cannot easily be replaced. Media publications often highlight that content featuring Taehyung consistently achieves high engagement numbers. From commercials to personal social media posts, everything tends to go viral. HYBE clearly understands this and has made him a central part of its strategy. But the question of HYBE's light without Taehyung is increasingly relevant because entertainment is a fast-changing industry. No artist can remain at the peak forever. This raises public concern. How prepared is HYBE if one day his influence fades? Although BTS has 7 members, Taehyung's unique character places him in a highly prominent role. Some fans even suggest that HYBE often places extra weight on his shoulders. This reveals a very real dependency. Staff members who have worked on promotional projects confirm that Taehyung is consistently positioned at the forefront of marketing strategies. He is seen as the face most capable of reaching new audiences. Such decisions underscore how central his role is in HYBE's business structure. Still, there are voices warning that the company might be focusing too much on a single figure. If HYBE relies too heavily on Taehyung, its long-term stability could be threatened. This is why many argue that the company must balance his role with the development of other artists. HYBE appears to understand this dilemma. The company works to maximize Taehyung's popularity while simultaneously strengthening its broader artist ecosystem. Yet it remains undeniable that his name is the strongest magnet they possess. Many fans believe that without Taehyung, both BTS and HYBE's image would feel incomplete. His charisma and charm are seen as essential components that bring life to the groups and the company's narratives. This perception has been reinforced over time. In international markets, Taehyung is frequently chosen as a promotional figure because he is considered capable of transcending language and cultural barriers. With just an expression, he can connect with audiences worldwide. This kind of power is rare among idols. If HYBE were to lose such a powerful figure, its challenge would be to maintain the same aura. The company might still function, but achieving the same emotional resonance with the global public would be difficult. That said, HYBE is not only about Taehyung. It has a vast system, other talented artists, and robust global strategies. But in many cases, the public still associates its strongest spotlight with him. This dynamic shows that HYBE survives on a mix of corporate structure and the personal magnetism of its stars. And in that mix, Taehyung stands at the forefront as the most prominent icon. His popularity is not only about music but also about persona. Fans eagerly await even his smallest uploads, interpret his expressions, and turn him into global topics. This phenomenon cannot be manufactured by corporate strategy alone. HYBE may discover new talented artists, but finding the next Taehyung would not be easy. His uniqueness stems from a combination of personality, experiences, and journey that cannot be duplicated. Some observers believe HYBE will go to great lengths to ensure Taehyung remains central to its long-term plans. Not only for profit, but also because it is hard to imagine the company's image without him. This situation illustrates how an artist can become more than just a performer. He can become an identity, even the soul of a company. Without Taehyung, HYBE might still exist, but its light could dim. Fans frequently compare the intensity of attention given to Taehyung against other artists. The results are almost always the same. His name continues to dominate discussions, both in local and international media. From a brand perspective, many global companies choose projects with Taehyung precisely because of his universal appeal. This fact strengthens his bargaining power while deepening HYBE's dependence on him. Despite this, Taehyung rarely appears to seek personal ambition excessively. He remains focused on art and on connecting with fans. This trait makes him even more beloved and simultaneously more vital to HYBE. Of course, this relationship is not without risks. If conflict were ever to arise, the impact would be felt broadly, affecting not only BTS but HYBE as a whole. This is one reason the topic generates so much attention. So far, however, the relationship appears solid. HYBE provides space for his solo projects, while Taehyung continues to contribute heavily to the group's image. This compromise has proven to be an effective survival strategy. Behind the scenes, the company likely has contingency plans to reduce dependency. Yet the reality remains that Taehyung's role is dominant and difficult to shift. The question of whether HYBE can shine without Taehyung seems to serve as a reflection of how dependent the industry can be on a single figure. The temporary answer is that the light would remain, but it would not shine with the same intensity. The public will likely always remember Taehyung as the figure who gave HYBE much of its color. His presence has built the bridge connecting the company to millions of fans. This story underlines that artists are not merely parts of a system, but can become the central energy that keeps the system alive. Without that energy, the machine may run, but without the same brilliance. Ultimately, discussions about HYBE's future without Taehyung are more than speculation. They reflect just how significant an individual's role can be in the modern entertainment industry. Taehyung has become a light, and HYBE will undoubtedly continue working to ensure that light never fades. The debate over HYBE's light without Taehyung will likely never be settled as long as he remains active. His presence is too intertwined with the company's identity for the question to feel hypothetical. Every campaign, every stage appearance, and every collaboration reinforces the idea that HYBE's momentum is tied directly to him. What makes this story especially striking is the way Taehyung's artistry and personality have transcended the framework of idol management. He is not just another performer on HYBE's roster, he is a defining figure whose individuality gives the company both cultural credibility and commercial dominance. That dual role is rare and explains why discussions of HYBE's future always circle back to his name. Fans see this clearly and have become active participants in preserving his narrative. Their dedication ensures that HYBE cannot treat him as just a replaceable asset. Instead, he is positioned as a cultural anchor, one that keeps the company aligned with global audiences while giving fans the authenticity they crave. From a corporate perspective, this comes with constant calculation. HYBE must invest in other talents and diversify its roster, yet it cannot risk sidelining the very artist whose influence sustains its reputation. The paradox is that while Taehyung's brilliance strengthens the company, it also exposes how dependent it has become on him. The reality is that HYBE would likely continue to exist without Taehyung, but not with the same aura. Its machinery would keep running, its other artists would continue to succeed, but the unique emotional and cultural resonance tied to his name would be difficult to replicate. That resonance is what makes him more than a star, it makes him the lifeblood of an empire. And so, the story remains unfinished. As Taehyung continues to evolve and as HYBE expands its reach, the question of whether the company can shine without him will linger in the background. For now, the answer is clear, HYBE shines brightest with him, and as long as he stands at the center, the company's light will never dim. The notion of HYBE without Taehyung feels almost unimaginable to many. His artistry, personality, and global resonance have become so deeply embedded in the company's identity that discussions about the future inevitably circle back to him. In some ways, the question itself, would HYBE still shine without Taehyung? Is a reflection of how much he has already given the company. Industry experts argue that the bond is more than contractual, it is symbolic. HYBE has built itself into a global powerhouse, but much of its emotional currency with audiences worldwide comes through Taehyung's presence. He embodies a blend of star power and sincerity that no corporate structure can manufacture.